Race for president now, your voice, your vote, and a big shakeup in the race. Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker drops out and calls on Republicans to stop Donald Trump as Ben Carson defies calls to drop out for his comments about Muslims. ABC's Tom Llamas is on the trail with Carson in Sharonville, Ohio. Good morning, Tom.
George, good morning to you. The Walker campaign lasting just 71 days, one of the shortest in recent memories. I was actually speaking with Donald Trump over the phone when Walker was dropping out, and he couldn't believe it like many others. He couldn't believe that it happened this early. But this morning, Donald Trump is taking the high road, not attacking Walker, even though Walker says Trump needs to be beat. This morning, a one-time frontrunner dropping out of the GOP race for president.
I will suspend my campaign immediately.
Sources say a campaign cash crunch forced Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker to call it quits. Walker slamming current Republican frontrunner Donald Trump on his way out.
I encourage other Republican presidential candidates to consider doing the same so that the voters can focus on a limited number of candidates who can offer a positive, conservative alternative to the current frontrunner.
I spoke with Trump about the narrowing field while Walker was resigning.
Well, I'm surprised, but I think he did the right thing, and I think you have other people that should drop out, because if you look at some of the numbers where they're at 0 or 1%, but many are less than 1%.
And some calling for Dr. Ben Carson to drop out after he said this.
I would not advocate that we put a Muslim in charge of this nation. I absolutely would not agree with that.
But overnight, changing his tune, saying he meant radical Islamists, not moderate Muslims.
I don't care what religion or faith someone belongs to, if they're willing to subjugate that to the American way and to our Constitution, then I have no problem with it.
And Carly Fiorina, now in second place, according to the latest national poll, coming out strong on this topic late last night.
Well, I think that's wrong. Whether it's a person of Christian faith or Jewish faith or Muslim faith or other faiths, I think faith gives us humility and empathy and optimism, and I think those are important things.
Now, Dr. Ben Carson says his comments were not that controversial. The reason why? Right after he said them on Sunday morning, his Facebook page went up by more than 100,000 likes. George?
That's one piece of evidence. Okay, Tom, thanks very much. Let's talk about this with Matthew Dowd right now. So Scott Walker says he ran out of money, but there were reasons he ran out of money.
Well, this is the first #1 seed to get kicked out of the tournament, right? In homage to the Pope. This is like Germany losing in the group stage of a World Cup. He dominated the polls for a while. I think it tells us two things. First, a good candidate on paper doesn't always meet reality well. And I think that's Scott Walker. If you're a 300 hitter in the minor leagues, it doesn't mean you can hit a curveball in the show. The second thing that I think, even more importantly, is how much the debates matter. They took Scott Walker, who was in double digits, to an asterisk over a course of two debates. Carly Fiorina, who wasn't even in the main event, is now in the top 3, and Jeb Bush was #1 or #2 and is now #5.
So who's helped most by this dropout of Walker?
Well, you can see who's the vultures picking over the dead carcass of Scott Walker, who's taking what contributors. Right now, Ted Cruz, Jeb Bush, and Marco Rubio look like they're picking up the most support. But keep an eye on Kasich, because Kasich is the last Midwesterner in this race. The Midwestern states are all winner-take-all when we get to towards the end of the primary, and he actually could make a play in Iowa.
Carly Fiorina had a light moment on the Tonight Show last night as well. Let's take a look.
My name's Nick, and I'm lazy. Please don't take a walk with me. I'd rather stay right here at home instead. I want to lie back down in my nice warm bed. My name's Nick, and you're gonna have to carry me.
Different side of Carly Fiorina right there. And we really have two races now in the Republican Party.
Yeah, you have to watch these kind of things because you want to be human, but you also don't want to look like you're embarrassing yourself. Yeah, we have outsiders versus insiders. We have Fiorina, Carson, and Donald Trump who are going to battle over that. And then we have the insiders who are going to battle over that. This is going to go down to be an outside-inside race.
Fascinating race. Matthew Dowd, thanks very much.